Morning. So this is, I don't know why I'm all chuckly today. I guess I haven't allowed myself to be depressed by the news from whencever it comes. Democracy is winning, and the state is very upset. The evidence coming out of Israel is opposite what the state wants and needs. A man tells me that white men are being destroyed by feminists in school. I read these stories and I know there's no response. Each relies on our need of threat, implacable, inhuman threat. Sodom and Gomorrah, communities of drug-taking, mindless thugs effortlessly lodge in our imaginations. Hollywood helps, but truly it is more our propensity, our demand of these myths that create seasons and spin-offs of zombie television. It's like a void that just needs filling up all the time because there's nothing else in it. The future leader of my country, bear with me, I use the vernacular leader, sees a movie made by an NYT reporter of the October the 7th atrocities. There are other films edited differently of what happened then and since, but she has all she needs. Confirmation of what she already believes. Peter Ustinov, quote, "People are good unless they are made bad," end quote. Preface to his book, the noted actor's writer's accounts of his visits to the land of his parents' birth, together with 120 specially commissioned photographs, provide insight into the amazing diversity and subtle mysteries of life in the Soviet Union. He would likely be considered a spreader of disinformation today. In my opinion, when I say today, we've had disinformation from year dot, as my friend used to say. It was called the pulpit, the source. In my opinion, this nasty psychic state is not caused by social media. That trip of the tongue grasp of reality hides the real cause, buried deep in all of us, our tendency, our love of cowering, our need of nations to cower in, flags to cower beneath, anthems to cower with, ancestral homelands to cower together and commune with our protective God, or on a stressful day, Aztec-like, hack out the hearts of our enemies. On my Substack, I get posts every day, I think by dint of an algorithm, by men mostly. Mostly I follow women, but the men reveal themselves very quickly as hardliners, as knowers of truths, as fascists of thinking. The feminist teachers emasculating their boys is an extraordinary theme. I had written the Tiresias story out, the famous seer who shows up in several Greek tragedies and was turned into a woman for 20 years by the goddess Hera for disappointing her. I marvel at this story, which means to my mind in the pagan Greek world that the way to wisdom is to inhabit masculine and feminine. Anyway, in response, a chap wrote an epic I had to read several times to understand, which was his intention. I meant to be scared of his vocabulary. In it, he quoted a story, a poem, he said, by a 17-year-old boy telling me very prosaically that he lost his manhood the day a woman crossed the road to avoid him. I did laugh out loud. Not really at the poor sensitive lad, but at his being used as an example of the effects of oppressive feminism. I predict, Tiresias-like, that this fellow will become a toxic masculine, which is the absence of non-toxic masculinity. Even as a troubled teen, I'd have understood. I may have crossed a road or two myself in fear of a larger, aggressive-looking man or group of men. I'd not have taken it personally. I am not one to think nor say, not all men, meaning not me. When someone says, you know how men are, I'd say, yes, I do, and I do. Even when I knew I was one. Even then, I knew I was one. not one of them. There was no group I cowered in, or even boasted of belonging to. I was the loner. I have no relationship to that club, saint or sinner. Y'all are strange to me, all of you. It is the basis of my love and respect for a species much less interesting than dogs, but necessary. You are all strange, but strange does not make you hostile. Other traits do that. Today, one of my followees began suggesting I buy a handgun. Is this an algorithm? Can I blame that? Where can I go? Or when I go on X, there is a For You option full of pornography and racist videos interspersed with little right-wing snideries from Mr. Elon himself, real adolescent stuff. Maybe a woman crossed his road. I mean, the defense of Elon Musk is just so indefensible. He's a moron. I mean, the rights of a moron should be defended, I suppose, but the rights of a moron to own a major media platform is dubious. Surely the founders had that in mind. All in all, it seems we draw our force, as in feel the force, from our hatreds. We should stop that. From our cowerings. Perhaps the milieu that produces journalists who admire Bibi's rhetorical talent, which consists of, make no mistake, they are evil, has us in his grip. You have to be an A-plus cowerer to be impressed by that. The Ta-Nehisi Coates controversy is illuminating. I'm offended by any state based on ethnocracy. Wait, where are we to cower? Sorry, good luck.